Good afternoon, this is BremSter and I'm continuing my journey to record the puzzles from Quads on Parade, and this is Carfax by rockratzero. This is another one that I have been told has some tricks to it, so I'm looking forward to exploring it. So what do we know? The rules of the puzzle. Of course, I'm recording these in almost the order they came in, and then they will be sorted afterwards. So can't tell you what came before, can't tell you what came after. Don't know anything about the puzzles. I don't know anything about the pack apart from the fact that I'm solving the puzzles. We haven't even seen all of the puzzles yet. Like, I'm recording this and a lot of the puzzles for the pack haven't been created, so it's kind of weird. Let's have a look at Carfax. So normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Quadruples, the theme of the pack. So digits in a quadruple circle must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. So around here, we know these will be the digits 1, 2, 3, and 5. And around this clue, we may have 2 7s. Like, they could both be 7s for all I know. This clue is for symmetry and is just a smiley face. Doesn't mean anything. That's fine. It's cool. Don't be too pedantic. I mean, I'm very pedantic about rules, but when you've got something like this, don't ask what it means. Just roll with it. X-Sums. Now, ask what they mean. A number outside the grid gives the sum of the first n digits in that row or column, where n is the digit closest to in the cell closest to the given clue. So, for example, if I use this 8 clue, if this was a 2, it would mean that 8 is the sum of the first 2 cells. If this was a 3, it would mean 8 is the sum of the first 3 cells. So similarly with this 24, if this was a 6, it would mean 24 is the sum of the first 6 cells. If this was a 5, it would mean 24 is the sum of the first 5 cells. That's all it means. But it means that you don't know how many cells you're summing until you figure it out. That's how this works. I don't know anything about this puzzle, except for the rules, and this is the grid. And then I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. And now I'm going to attempt to solve it. Let's give it a shot. So I do know that these are 1, 2, 3, and 5. Now, I do also know that in an X-sum clue, you cannot do a 1, because if this was a 1, then it would be summing the first digit, and this clue would have to be a 1. This could be a 2. So it could be a 2, it could be a 3, it can't be a 4, because if this was a 4, then it would be summing the first 4 digits, and the first 4 digits, the minimum that could be would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 4 digits, 1, 2, 3 plus 4, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. So this can't be a 4, this is a 2 or a 3, and this is also a 2 or a 3. This is also a 2 or a 3. Now, if this was a 2, this would be a 5. If this was a 3, these would have to sum to 4. This can't be a 3. If this was a 3, these would have to sum to 4, and they would have to be 1, 3, and that doesn't work. This is a 2, this is a 5. Well, that's a cool start. Now, this 2, 5 means around this smiley face, I don't know anything. Okay, so we have to put a 4 and an 8 around here. Now, I can't... I'd have to put a 4 and an 8 around here. These are 1, 3, and 7. I know these are 1, 3, and 7 because I have to. So, and the 3s exist in either those states or those states. But a 37 clue, that's also important, as is a 35. But a 37 is more broken because it means that, right, this means, what do we know about an entire column of the Sudoku? Well, we know it contains all of the digits from 1 to 9. That's normal Sudoku rules. If you add the digits 1 to 9 together, you get 45. That's known. You can figure that out for yourself if you wish. But what that means, 3 here or 3 here means this is a 2 and this is a 6. That's just because 3 is in either this state or this state, which means there is a 3 in one of those. That couldn't be a 3. This was a 2. This was a 6. And now I know that is a 7 because of where I was coming from. Now, cool. Now, the reason for that is this entire column sums to 45. But now we know that these sum to 8. So if these sum to 8, what do these sum to? These are 45 minus 8, which is 37. So we know that those 7 cells sum to 37. So that is a 7. There is no 7 there. This is a 1, 3. The 7 has to be over here. But I'm still not sure of the order. There is no 7 there. 7 is in one of those. But do I want to look at this 35 now? Because 35, oh, actually 35 is not quite as good. Because 35, what's the minimum you could do 35 in? Well, it means that what is outside the clue is 10. And the minimum, you could do 10 in 2 cells. So it's between 2 and 4. So this has to be between 5 and 8. 5 and 7. It can't be 8. So this is 5, 6, or 7, and it can't be 5. So this is either 6 or 7. And it's all of those or all of those. But it's fairly... This is 6 or 7. That's not as useful, is it? Okay, I need to find something else. This can't... Right, what's this 12 clue? What can I do 12 in? Because I can't use 1, 2, 3, and I can't... Right, this is a 4. That is a 4. Because I can't do 12... I can't use 1, 2, or 3. I could do 12 in 4, but if I used 5 digits, then the minimum that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 1, 2, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5 is 15. That doesn't work. So that is a 4 clue. And I couldn't use 5 anyway. This would have to be 6, and that would be even worse. That'd be 21. So this is a 4 clue. So these 3 digits have to sum to 8. So that can't be an 8. 8 is in one of those two. And there's no 4 there. This is a 4-8 pair. I can't put a 4 there because there's a 4 in the column, and I can't put an 8 there because those 3 cells have to sum to 8. That is a 4-8 pair. Now there must be a 2 in one of those two, and that can't be a 2 because the 2 must be in here. I don't want to pencil mark that across boxes, but I know this pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 and 9. That 5 makes that the 9, and that the 5. Making progress. The smiley face is still like, it's taunting me. Okay, now, normally what you do is you go through and you put in what the possible values of X-Sums could be, but I'm kind of avoiding that because the minimum you can put in a 24, I think, is 4, because it can't be 3, because if this was 3, the next 2 digits would have to sum to 21, and you can't do that. 4 would work because I could make 3 digits sum to 20. That's no problem. 5 would work. 6 would work. If I made it 7, then I would need 2 digits that sum to 21. That can't work. But I could, if this is 6, I'd have 3 digits that sum to 40. I could have 3 digits that would sum to 21, and that could work. So this is 4, 5, or 6. So this is 4, 5, or 6. Yeah, this is 4, 5, or 6. 13. Now you can't do 13 in 5. Because that it just doesn't work. Can't do 13 in 2 because it would be 2, 11. So this is 3, 4, 3 or 4. But there's a 3 in here. That 3 is either in that pattern or that pattern. That's a 4. There's no 4 there. 4 is down here. And now it's 13 in 4. So those 3 cells have to sum to 11. Now, if this was 1, 3... they would be 8, and that would be a 5. If this is 7, 3, because there must be a 3 in here. So this is either 5 if this is 1, 3, because it would be 4 plus 4, and I'd need a 5. If this is 7, 3, that's 8, 12, and that's a 1. Either way, there's a 1 in there. But this is 1 or 5. Right? But there's a 2. No, I don't know there's a 2 in there. I don't have a 2 there because the 2 must be in here for this quad. $23. Now, 23 is like 24. If this was a 3, these 2 cells would have to sum to 20, and that doesn't work. So it could be a 4, it could be a 5, could be a 6, I think, because if this is a 6, I'd need 5 cells that added to... Actually, can it be a 6? If it's a 6, I'd need 5 cells that added to 17 without using a 6. Yeah, that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So it can be a 6. It can't be a 7 because 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 is 28. So this is also 4, 5, 6, and it's not 4. So this is 5 or 6. So it's either those digits or those digits. Oh, there's no 4 here because of the 2, 4 quad. This is 5 or 6. Oh, well, this is just clear, but I'm not paying attention to enough stuff. I'm getting distracted by the wrong things. 2 is in here and 2 is in here. So I can't put 2 in those cells and I can't put 2 in those cells. That's a 5, 6, that's a 4. That is a 2. This is a quad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm not sure what to do with that. There's this, where you've got these facing X-sums, I always find tricky. So 28. Now, 28 can't be done in 3. It could be done in 4, could be done in 5, could be done in 6. It can be done in 7. Now, it can't be 4 because of this. So this is 5, 6, or 7, giving me a 5, 6, 7 triple. Now, the 1 can't be here. So the 1 is in one of those two. The 3 can't be here. This is a 1, 3 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8, 9 pair, and this is a 6 or a 7. That's cool. But now I've got this overlapping situation here, which I always find awkward. If this is 2, this is 6. If this is 3, these have to sum to 5. And they'd have to be 1, 4. But they can't be 1, 4 because of that. So if this is 3, these would have to sum to 5. But I couldn't use 2, 3, and I couldn't use 1, 4. This is 2 and 6. Now 2 is in one of those two, but it's not there. That's the 2. Still don't have anything around the smiley face quad. It's going to boil down to the nightmare that is this and me being bad at math, isn't it? But this is really fascinating. Now, we do know that these have to sum to 8. So there has to... Oh, these have to sum to 8. Because 12 minus 4 is 8. But if I don't use a 1, the minimum is 2, 3, 5, which is 10, and these would be 14. So there's no 1 in those. This is a 3, 7. So the 1 is in here. This is a 3, 7. But I knew that there was a 1 in here. This is a 3, 7. This is a 1, 3. Still don't know the disposition of the 3s. But I know that these sum to 9. Hang on. These sum to 9. That can't be a 7. Why did I ever think that could be a 7? Oh, did I just get that as a 4 recently? Or did I do my math wrong earlier? These have to sum to 9, which is going to be 5, 1, 3. I can't put a 7 there. This is the 3, this is the 1, this is the 3, this is the 7. And in order to get there, now that this is 8, this has to be the 5. That takes 5 out of those, takes 3 out of those. 7 around this quadruple has to be in here. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But the 7 can't be there because the 7 has to be around this quadruple. Okay. Now this isn't a 7 anymore. So these are... Right. One of these is going to continue to the center like that, and the other one is going to overlap further like that. So there's going to be 2 double counted cells in this row, that one and one of those 2. But the sum of the row is 45, but the sum of these is 52. So I need to get another 7 in either those two cells or those two cells. So that or that sums to 7. If it's those two, if that's a 6, then that's 3, 4. If that's a 6, those have to sum to 7, which would be 1, 6, because I can't use 2, 5 or 3, 4. And I couldn't, no, right. Hang on a minute, is that right? Yes, because I have to have an overlap that sums to 7, because these sum to 52 and the row is 45. And one of them is going to count 5 digits and the other is going to count 6. So the overlap is 2. Right, that makes sense. But if the overlap goes this way, I've got a problem. Because I have to then put 7 into those two cells. But this would be a 6. So how would that work? It wouldn't. Because how do I make 7? There's a 6 here, so I can't use 1, 6, I can't use 2, 5, I can't use 3, 4. It doesn't work. So the overlap has to be that being yellow and that not being yellow, and the overlap is here. Those have to sum to 7. That's a 4, that's a 6, and that's a 5. That's incredibly clever. So these have to sum to 28. Well, I've got 10, 19. That is a 9. They now sum to 28, and these are 1, 2, 8. So 6, 1, 2, 8 is 11, 17, plus 7 is 24. That's it. That is very cool, and I can't believe I found that. Can you believe I found that? There's no 2 there. So what are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 6, 8. And there's a 6 looking up. That's cool. Let's mark what clues I've done. The 37 is effectively done because as is the 8, because I've got the sum of the 7. The 7 is done. The 24 is done. The 28 is done. The 13 is done. The 8 is done. Haven't done the 24. Haven't done the 35. I've done the 8. I haven't done the 12. I haven't done the 23. Right. Cool. Now, this is now a 2-8 pair because I've got that 9-7. That is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a 6. There's no 6 there. That's the 6. The 2-8 is looking along saying the 2 has to be in there. I've got that now. The 4 has to be in one of those two because of the quad and the fact that I can't put the 4 up there. Wow. The 2 that has to be in the quad here is looking down, making that the 8 and that the 2, which takes the 2 out of there. This is a 1, 3, so we've got 5 and 2. That's now fulfilled. What are these digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 9. Not sure how to resolve those. But these, oh, the 5 makes that the 6, and these are 7 and 8. But now those digits have to sum to 24. But if this was 8 and 7, I think I'm broken. Because if that's 8, that becomes 7. 8 and 7 is 15 plus 6 is 21. And those 3 digits would need to sum to 3. And that's not going to work. That's the 4, that's the 8. Now we've got 12 already, so these need to sum to 12. If that's 9, I've blown the total. That's the 1. That's the 9. Now here we've got 7, 9, 13. These need to sum to 11, which is either going to be 7, 4, which it can't be, so it's 8 and 3, making that the 7, and the 24 clue is now done. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9 go into those, taking 7 out of there. The 7 around this quadruple is there. I've got a digit on the smiley face. It's a 3 in the corner of the smiley face. Does that count? The 6 makes that the 7. 5, 7, 9 also makes that the 8 and that the 9. These are 6 and 8. The 6 is looking up, making that the 8 and that the 6. The 8 is looking down, making that the 1 and that the 8, taking 8 out of those. The 1 is looking across, making that the 3 and that the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. This is fun. I love these puzzles. 1, 2, 3, 4. The weird thing for me is knowing that as of time of me recording this, apart from the people working on the pack, no one's going to see these for months. 1, 3, and 4 go into those. Okay. Okay. So I've got more work to do. Now, 7 is here. So these two digits need to sum to 10. They could be 1, 9. They can't be 2, 8, 3, 7. So these are either 1, 9 or 4, 6. Well, they're not 4, 6 because I can't put 6 in either of them. That is a 1, 9 pair, making that the 3 and that the 1. And the 7 clue is now done. That's crazy good. That is crazy good. The 7 makes that the 6. And now by Sudoku, that's the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll use the 5 to make that the 4 and that the 5. Let's put these in. I need to put a 1 right there. 2, 3, 7, and 9 go in. There's no 9 in those. That's the 9. Don't know how to, which makes that the 8 and that the 9. I was going to say I don't know how to resolve the 3, 7. The 6 makes this the 5. And now those digits there need to sum to 23. And that's, I know, please let this be right. 9, 12. Yes, the 12 clue is correct. The only clue I haven't done is this 23 clue. These are 11, so these need to sum to 12. But what are these? 2, 3, 4, 7. These need to sum to 12. Well, if this is a 9, 1, 2, maybe. But I have to put a 2 and a 3 around this quadruple. And I can't put them there. So that is actually a 2, 3, which makes that the 7, that the 3, which makes that the 4, which means I know what this pair is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That 4 means that's not the 4. Okay, there'll be a trick here I haven't seen. It's probably scanning. I've got the 8s around here. The quads are done. It's this X-Sum. Oh, I don't have a nasty sting in the tail. This has been beautiful. Okay, so these have to sum to 11. If this is 9, 1, 2, I don't see how that's obviously broken. If this is a 2, these would have to sum to 9. I could use 5, 4. If this is a 3, these would have to sum to 8. I could use 7, 1. If this is a 4, these would have to sum to 7. I could use 5, 2. 3, these would have to sum to 8. I could use 5, 3. 1, these would have to sum to 10. I could use 7, 3. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, no, this can't be a 9. If this is a 9, these would have to be 1, 2, and that is broken. There's no 9 there. Okay. If this is a 7, these need to sum to 4. These would be 1 and 3. That would be 2. Where's 9 in this column? It's not in those, not in those, not there. That is the 9, and 9 comes out of those. Does that do anything? Oh, man, don't put a horrible sting in the tail of this. Where's 5 in this column? Oh, no, the 5 makes that the 7. That was right there, and I was blind. If I'd removed the 5, then I would have been able to do the 9 elimination a lot simpler. It's not a sting in the tail, it's BremSter being blind, because these sum to 18. So I need another 5. These need to sum to 5. Well, it can't be 4, 1, so these are 2 and 3. So that's the 3, that's the 2. There's no sting in the tail. This is just me. The 2 looks down, making this the 1 and this the 2. The 3 and the 7 makes that the 4, and I can take 4 out of there. The 23 clue is now done. It was not anything other than BremSter being blind. Now, the 3 makes that the 1 and that the 4. The 1 makes that the 9 and that the 1. The 9 means that's not the 9, but there's also no 7 in either of those, so we have 5 and 9. The 5 looks down, making that 8 and 5. The 8 looks up, making that 7 and 8. And the 7 looks down, making that 3 and 7. 23 minutes and 1 second. That is beautiful. I think that's a little bit trickier than what my solve of it made it, because I've been solving quite a few quads. I think this is a hike, but I think it's an easy hike. I think I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to call this an easy hike. I'm going to check what the other testers said before I fully rate it, but I think it's an easy hike. Either way, it's a beautiful puzzle. Thank you, Rockrat. That was rockratzero. That was absolutely beautiful. I'm really, really lucky with the puzzles I get sent. Very happy. Thank you, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the pack. We'll have finished it by the time you see this. And as always, good luck with your solving.